Okay, Reagan, we're going to start here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson on playing Prince Charles's Welcome to Loch Aubert. Now, remember, there are two types of embellishments in this tune that we really need to iron out. The first one is the D throw. So from any note, and mostly in this tune they'll be from B, from any note you play to low G, then play a D grace note to C, and from C proceed to D, much like this. And you can play them from any note, and they'll be played from any note quite regularly. So I'll play them up the scale for you. And there you have it. The other thing is the light D strike. So from any note you play 2D with a G grace note. So we're going to do from low A, and then you immediately strike the D hole with your index finger. So you get an echo, ha da, ha da. So it's like this. You always want the G grace note and the D strike to be separate enough where you can hear them. So it should be almost like an echo. 1 2 1 2. Okay, if you'll take a look at your music for Prince Charles's Welcome to Loch Aubert, we will get started. I'm just going to play through this for you. I've got each bar labeled A, B, C, and D. So to start with, I'll just play for you the rhythm of A. And we'll start with the E pickup note that you see right there after the 2/4 time signature. So starting on E is very simple. Again, I'll play phrase A. Now I'll move on to phrase B. Again, phrase B. Got it? Now on to phrase C. Again. Again. Both of those E's have a G grace note on them. Again, I'll play phrase C for you. And in the very last phrase, phrase D. Note that when you go from D to B, the very last note of phrase C, that you play to that with an E grace note rather than a G grace note, an E grace note. So phrase D. Again. Again. Now I'll play the whole first line for you. A, B, C, and D. it again. And one more time. Okay, and I'm going to move on to line 2. If you look at the second line, it is exactly identical to the first line and part A and B. See, part A and part B are identical to part A and part B in the first line. So you've already got that memorized or learned. If you look at part C and D of the second line, you'll notice that it's just a little bit different, especially part D of the second line. You'll notice that it's got the D grace note strike. So, looking at line 2, I'm going to play for you part C. Piece of cake. Again, part C. One more time. And part D. Again, and I'll start from E, from that E at the very ending of part C. Part C and D, again, are the only two parts of the second line that are different from the first line. If you notice at the beginning by the 2/4 time signature, and at the end of line 2, you'll see 2 dots. That means that you repeat that whole phrase. So you play line 1 and line 2, and then you go all the way back and play line 1 and line 2 again. In music, anytime you see this, it means for you to repeat once everything between those 2 sets of dots. So I'll play the first part for you nice and slow, so that when you come in next week you can have the whole first part learned. And it goes, Prince Charles is welcome to Loch Auber. I think you will do really good with this tune. You played it very good Tuesday night, so use this video to help you. It'll help you get it up, and we can progress right to the tune and get it memorized so that you can compete with it later this year. And the band is also learning this tune, so you'll be able to play a tune that the band plays. It's not written here, but this tune was composed by pipe major Evan McCrae, a very famous piper. I think he was in the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, but very accomplished player and composer. So I hope you enjoy.